questions put to him by Defence Counsel Francois van Zyl, answered that it's possible, I don't remember, to which at one point Deputy Cape Judge President Jeanette Traverso asked Mr. Kwabe exactly what he means when he says it's possible, because she says that various people could have different ways of saying something.
Honorable members, we were supposed to have started a little bit earlier, but we just need to give a little bit of time for Mr. Van Voore to get ready, because it is his show. Actually, let's just give him some few minutes and to get sorted out. Yes. No, he was not supposed even to put it at any time between them. Order. Honorable members, it looks like we are ready to resume with the hearing. And I just want to confirm that Mr. Kaso is still under oath. I want to recognize Mr. van Voore to proceed with the evidence. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and your committee and Mr. Kaso. Mr. Chairman, just by way of housekeeping, I hear a din, a very high-pitched sound running constantly. I'm happy to proceed, notwithstanding that sound, as long as there's the assurance from those in the know that it does not interfere with the recording equipment and the like.
Yeah, I think this is the bell that sometimes signifies sittings in this building. We are aware that there are other activities in the House, the Children's Parliament and ad hoc committee on Nkandla. They are all supposed to be sitting today. So we'll just request, if ever, the sound and vision personnel, just to ensure that it doesn't affect our recording.
Chairperson,
Honorable Killian.
you sure it's not a fire alarm?
I'm used to this sound. We may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Kaso, we spent much of the last part of the session of yesterday afternoon dealing with charge 6 in relation to, I think it was, the Honorable Shivambu. And if I might ask you to please turn to page 3 of Bundle C. Bundle C is that bundle that contains the notices of the hearing in respect of all of the affected honourable members. Thank you. And this is the charge that deals with creating or taking part in a disturbance within the precincts of Parliament, and while the House was meeting. And it goes on to say, conducting yourself in a grossly disorderly manner, thereby interfering with or disrupting the proceedings of the House, forcing the Speaker to suspend proceedings temporarily, and ultimately to adjourn the sitting for the day. Mr. Kaso, you will recall that there are a number of honourable members who face that charge, and we dealt yesterday largely with the first group of members that face that charge, being the Honourable Shivambu, the Honourable Ramakatsa, the Honourable Litchfield Shabalala, the Honourable Gardi, the Honourable Malema, and the Honourable Ndlozi. Do you confirm that?
Yes, I do, Mr. Chairman.
Then there are other members, honourable members, who also face that self-same charge, and in their notices, that charge is numbered differently, but it is the self-same charge, and those honourable members include the Honourable Low, the Honourable Mashabela, the Honourable Matiasi, the Honourable Maxon, the Honourable Munsami, and the Honourable Mkitama. I will shortly take you, Mr. Kaso, to their notices so that we can satisfy the committee that indeed they also face a charge dealing with creating or taking part in a disturbance. But before I do that, in relation to the sitting of 21 August, and in particular, the charge of creating or participating in a disturbance. The House, or the sitting of the House, was suspended first for a short time and then for a longer time. And then ultimately it was adjourned. And the sitting of the House was suspended, as we saw on the footage yesterday. There was an indication from the Speaker that the House would be suspended for some 3 minutes, and it ended up, as you said, being a bit longer. Why at that point was the sitting of the House suspended?
Mr. Chairman, as the minutes of the House on that day reflect, just want to get to the page, I think it's 39. Business was suspended at 14:58 due to grave disorder, and that would have been in terms of Rule 56, which provides that in the event of grave disorder at a meeting, the presiding officer may adjourn the meeting or may suspend the proceedings for a period to be stated by him or her. So the suspension at 14:58 was due to that, as stated in the minutes, Mr. Chairman.
And you'll recall from watching the video at that point that the Speaker had indicated that the House was being suspended following the grave disorder, and also for a specific practical reason. What was that?
This was after the Speaker had asked certain members of the EFF to leave the House. And the members did not leave, and the Speaker then suspended proceedings of the House. As I said, as the minutes indicate, due to grave disorder in terms of Rule 56.
Following that brief suspension, there was a further suspension of the House.
That is correct, Mr. Chairman.
And what was the purpose of that further suspension?
Mr. Chairman, I just need to get to the answer, because I don't wish to paraphrase what the Speaker said. With your permission, Mr. Chairman. The Speaker, this would be page 36. The Speaker said, honorable members, please take your seats. Our security is requesting us to cooperate with them in this respect. They are asking us to vacate the House in order for them to deal with this issue, to assist us. We will then ring the bells again and come back to the House and proceed with our program. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. And then ultimately, the House was adjourned. Can you recall at what time that was?
The House was adjourned, Mr. Chairman, ultimately at 16:17, 17 minutes past 4 in the afternoon.
Thank you. I would now like to move on, Mr. Kaso, to a further group of honorable members. There are also 6 of them, and their notices to attend the proceedings of this committee are to be found at Bundle C, starting with a notice for Mr. Lowe,
Charge 1.
Thank you, Mr. Kaso. If I may then ask you, please, to turn to page 39 of the self-same bundle, Bundle C. This is the notice in respect of the Honourable Munsami.
I am there, Mr. Chairman.
Will you please just read, cast your eye over charge 1?
I have read, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Kaso. Will you please just confirm that that charge 1 in relation to the Honourable Munsami is the self-same charge as it appears in relation to the Honourable Lowe, the Honourable Mashabela, the Honourable Matiasi and Maxon, and relates amongst others to creating or taking part in a disturbance while the House was meeting?
I can confirm, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Kaso. And then lastly, for this part, will you please turn to page 42, staying with Bundle C, page 42. This appears to be the notice in relation to the Honourable Ntama.
I'm there, Mr. Chairman.
Will you please just read for yourself charge 1 at the bottom of 42 and across the page at the top of 43.
I've read, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kaso. Will you please just confirm that that charge 1 in relation to the Honourable Mkitama is the same charge as the other named members so far, insofar as it relates to the creating or taking part in a disturbance while the House was meeting?
I can confirm, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Kaso. Mr. Chairman, insofar as both the video footage and the documentary evidence, I will lead the witness through this part of the evidence in relation to the named honourable members being the Honourable Lowe, the Honourable Mashabela, the Honourable Matiase, the Honourable Maxon, the Honourable Munsami, and the Honourable Mkitama. I will lead the evidence in relation to them as a group. Obviously, to the extent necessary, Mr. Kaso will, in his evidence, make the individual identification of those honourable members whom it is alleged participated in this activity. It's probably correct that we begin again just with reference very briefly to the section of the Act relevant to this particular charge. To be found at section 13. In particular, section 13A and 7E.
Yes, I'm there, Mr. Chair.
Will you please read sections 13A and 7E into the record?
Section 13 of the Act reads as follows. Conduct constituting contempt. A member is guilty of contempt of Parliament if the member contravenes section 7, 8, 10, 19, 21, subsection 1, or section 26. And section 7E of the Act reads as follows. Prohibited acts in respect of Parliament and members. A person may not, while Parliament or a House or committee is meeting, create or take part in any disturbance within the precincts.
Thank you, Mr. Kaso. I'd like to ask Mr. Jerome Adonis, who is assisting with the playing of relevant parts of the video footage, to play that part of the video footage on CD1, and it is clip A, at 56 minutes and 50 seconds, up to and including 57 minutes and 23 seconds, please.
We'll have to ask the Sergeant at Arms to take out members who are not serious about this sitting.
On a point of order, I'm asking for to be recognized, Honorable Speaker, on a
Sergeant
point of
at
order.
Arms, please assist me with relieving the members who are in this house who are not serious about this sitting to
Who are
take
serious,
their
Chair,
leave.
who are raising a point of order. You're not
allowing
point of order. That's what you mean.
Allowing
There's no member of the public.
Honorable member, you want to leave the house.
All we are
Leave the house.
back the money. Why are we getting thrown out?
That money, money must be paid. You can't hide behind presidents.
Honorable members, I'm calling
Want the
the
man.
security. I'm suspending the house for a few minutes for these
On a
honorable
point of
members
order,
to
Chair.
leave.
We want our money.
Thank you, Mr. Adonis. Mr. Kaso, yesterday you already identified for the committee the Honourable Shivambu, the Honourable Ramakatsa, the Honourable Litchfield, Shabalala, the Honourable Gardi, the Honourable Malema, and the Honourable Ndlozi as being honourable members participating in the activity recorded there on the video footage. I'd like you now to identify the other members who also face the charge insofar as it relates to creating or taking part in a disturbance.
Mr. Chairman, I will identify the members who are either standing or using their heads, banging the desks. That would be Honorable Maxine, and you had Honorable Matiase next to Honorable Maxine, and you have Honorable Monsami. You have Honorable, no sorry, I meant Honorable Ramakasa. Then you have Honorable Monsami, and you have Honorable Ndlozi at that side. You have Honorable Matiase, you have Honorable Low, and you have Honorable Mashabela that side. And at some point I thought I saw Honorable Mqitam using his head, banging the desk while this thing was playing. Yes, Chair. I'm just basing it on what I see now on the screen. These are the honorable members that I'm identifying.
Thank you, Mr. Kaasa. I'm going to ask Mr. Adonis to play the clip again. The self-same clip. My apologies. If you can start at 56 minutes this time, if you can start at 56 minutes 30 seconds, up to and including 57 minutes 23 seconds.
Not serious about this sitting to
Who are
take
serious,
their
Chair,
leave.
who are raising a point of order. You're not
allowing
There's no member of parliament.
honorable member to leave the house.
No, all we are
Leave the house.
back the money. Why are we getting thrown out?
That money must be paid. You can't hide behind precedents.
Honorable members, I'm calling the security. I'm suspending the house for a few minutes for these
On a
honorable
point of
members
order,
to
Chair.
leave.
1 hour.
Thank you, Mr. Adonis. Mr. Kaasa, you indicated earlier on that you thought you saw the Honorable Mqitama as being part of a group of members of the House participating in this activity. Having viewed the clip again now, were you able to see the Honorable Mqitama there?
I saw the Honorable Mqitama, Mr. Chair, banging, according to the clip, going like this with his head.
Thank you. I know that I asked you this question yesterday in relation to the first group of 6 MPs, being Mr. Shivambu, the Honourable Shivambu, Ramakatsa, Litchfield Chabalala, the Honourable Gardi, the Honourable Malema, and the Honourable Ndlozi. However, we need to be sure that the same activity, or rather that we need to get your evidence in relation also to the second group, being the Honourable Low, Mashabela, Matiase, Maxon, Munsami, and Mqitama. If it appears to be a bit repetitious relative to yesterday, I apologize for that, Mr. Kaasa, but I'm going to have to ask you again in relation to the second group now. just to describe what activity they're engaged in there.
Mr. Chairman, some of the members are on their feet, standing, and some members, I think I saw one member standing and banging I think it was Honorable Matiase, using his head also, and the other member is banging the desk with his head, and other members it appears on the video clip, they are attempting or are addressing the chairperson, while the chair is attempting to address them and the House at the same time. And of course, some members are just standing, they are on their feet. Yeah.
This conduct has been referred to as disorder, grave disorder, grossly disorderly. I'd like your comment on that and why you think it falls into that category.
Honorable Chair, my understanding has to have a rational basis. And the logic of the situation is that the Speaker has ordered members to leave. And the rule that empowers the Speaker to order members to leave is Rule 51. Rule 51 provides for various circumstances. Deliberate contravention of the rules or provisions of the rules, a member being in contempt of the chair or disregarding the authority of the chair, or that a member's conduct is grossly disorderly. And the rule says the Speaker may order the member to withdraw immediately from the chamber. It is my understanding that at that point, Speaker would have made that determination that the conduct that was manifesting in the House fitted the description in Rule 51. This is in the context of Speaker having dealt with some points of order earlier. One point of order had been raised by the Honorable Shivambu, referring to the other member. And the other point of order had been raised by the Honorable Ramakatsa. Speaker acknowledged the point of order and then ruled that it was not a point of order. Then there was an attempt to make an intervention, if my recollection serves me well, by the Honorable Litchfield Chabalala. The Speaker did not acknowledge that point of order because my understanding is that she did not, her determination was that it did not qualify as a point of order. And then the Honorable Gardi, and remember that Speaker, after having listened to the two previous points of order, had made a determination that was what the members were raising was not a point of order. And then you had Mr. Ndlozi also raising a point of order, and Speaker having ruled that the previous members, the points they were trying to raise were not points of order. My understanding is that she would have made a determination that the member would have been rising on the same issue. And now you have members, after Speaker has asked members to be seated on several occasions, so that she may proceed with the business. And at this point, you have other members, after those appeals by the Speaker, on their feet. Honorable Chair and the committee, the rule that we read yesterday, that when the Speaker rises, which I've explained that it has been applied in instances where the Speaker addresses the House, that every member speaking shall resume his or her seat. The presiding officer shall be heard without interruption, and that a member may rise when recognized by the Chair. And therefore, my understanding, Mr. Chair, is that the determination of the Speaker would have been that the conduct that was unfolding in the House fitted the description in Rule 51.
I'd just like your comment on this. We have played some of the video footage here in somewhat staccato fashion. I've asked Mr. Adonis to play this bit and then jump back to another bit and go then forward to yet another bit. And I have given references to time. But this conduct, captured also on the Hansard, or in the Hansard, starting with the attempt by the Speaker to recognize the Honorable Holomisa as being the person who's going to ask the next supplementary question after the Honorable Malema. Starting from there, right up until the point where the Speaker instructs certain honorable members to leave the House. Does that play itself out over hours, or does that play itself out over a matter of minutes?
Up to this point. It would have been, Mr. Chair, of course I did not count the actual time, seconds or minutes, certainly not hours.
Thank you, Mr. Tkaso. Mr. Chairman, in your committee, by the time we come to making submissions, and I raise it now only by way of flagging it, the period of time we are talking about is in minutes. Things develop quite quickly, and it builds up into a crescendo. I don't at this time want to use a pejorative term. When it comes to making the submissions, that might well change. If I can just have a few moments, I will not leave the House. I just need to gather my thoughts on which of the charges to return to next, because there were some that I skipped yesterday. Mr. Tkaso, or before I refer to Mr. Tkaso, Mr. Chairman, in your committee, I'd now like to turn to a charge that involves all of the honourable members of the EFF who face charges. Later on, I will then return to the remaining charges, and they could probably be grouped into three, that involves combinations of various honourable members on the day who face charges before your committee. But to move things along more quickly, I'd like now to go to a charge that involves all of the honourable members. In respect of the Honourable Shivambu, that charge is referred to as charge 7. And if I can refer you here again, Mr. Tkaso, to bundle C, the notices for the honourable members to attend the proceedings of this committee are at bundle C. And starting with the Honourable Shivambu, charge 7 appears at page 3 of bundle C.
I am there, Mr. Chairman.
Will you please read charge 7 into the record?
Charge 7, Mr. Chairman, reads as follows. It is alleged that you are guilty of conduct constituting contempt of Parliament in terms of Section 13A of the Act, in that as a Member of Parliament on 21 August 2014, you contravened Section 7A of the Act by improperly interfering with or impeding the exercise or performance by the House of its authority or functions by remaining in the chamber after the sitting of the House had been temporarily suspended by the Speaker, so that you could leave, alternately be removed from the chamber, in order for the House to continue with its business for that day. Your refusal to leave the chamber resulted in the House being adjourned for the day.
Thank you, Mr. Kaso. What I'd like you to do is then to refer to the notice in respect of Mr. Ramakatsa. That notice appears at page 6 of the same bundle C, page 6 through page 9. Still the same bundle C. The Honourable Mr. Ramakatsa's notice, pages 6 through to page 9. And on page 8 of Mr. Ramakatsa's notice, you will see there charge 7.
I'm there, Mr. Chair.
Read that to yourself and confirm, once you have done so, that it is the same as the charge 7 in respect of the Honourable Shivambu.
It is the same, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Then, still in the bundle C, being the notices for the hearing as received by the honourable members. And now at page 11, this is the notice for the Honourable Litchfield Shabalala. Will you please confirm that?
I confirm, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And this notice in respect of the Honourable Litchfield Shabalala has at charge 6 whereas the other two notices, the self-same charge was charge 7. Will you please read charge 6 in relation to the Honourable Litchfield Shabalala into the record?
Charge 6 reads as follows. It is alleged that you are guilty of conduct constituting contempt of Parliament in terms of Section 13A of the Act, in that as a Member of Parliament on 21 August, you contravened Section 7A of the Act by improperly interfering with or impeding the exercise or performance by the House of its authority or functions by remaining in the chamber after the sitting of the House had been temporarily suspended by the Speaker, so that you could leave, alternatively be removed from the chamber, in order for the House to continue with its business for that day. Your refusal to leave the chamber resulted in the House being adjourned for the day.
Thank you, Mr. Kasa. Will you please confirm that that charge, numbered 6 in relation to the Honourable Litchfield Chabalala and relating to, amongst other things, remaining in the, remaining in the chamber, is the self-same charge which is numbered 7 in relation to the Honourable Shivambu and Ramakatsa?
I can confirm, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I think we'll move through the others rather briefly or quickly. The Honourable Mr. Gardi's notice is at pages 15 through 18 of Bundle C, And in particular, I would like you to go to page 16 right at the bottom and page 15 right at the top. My apologies, 17 right at the top.
I am there, sir.
Looking at that charge 5, will you confirm that that charge is the same as the... Sorry, there was a question?
No, there is no question.
My apologies.
Nobody has asked for attention of the chair. You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That charge there, numbered charge 5, will you please confirm that it also deals with remaining in the chamber after the sitting had been temporarily suspended?
I can confirm that, Mr. Chairman.
And that is in relation to the Honorable Gardi?
That is correct, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Staying with bundle C, being the notices of the hearing, staying with bundle C and now moving to page 19, you will see there a notice relating to the Honorable Ndlozi. And that notice it starts at page 19 and it runs through to page 22.
I am there, Mr. Chairman.
And the last of the charges in relation to the Honorable Ndlozi is at page 20, numbered charge 4.
Mr. Chairman.
Will you please confirm that that charge is the self-same charge insofar as remaining in the chamber after the sitting of the House had been temporarily suspended so that you could leave, alternatively be removed from the chamber in order for the House to continue with its business? Your refusal to leave the chamber resulted in the House being adjourned for the day. Will you please confirm that that is the self-same charge as faced by the other members we have already referred to?
It is the same charge, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Kaso. Still staying with bundle C and moving ahead to page 23. This is the notice in relation to the Honorable Mr. Malema, and it is at pages 23 through 26 of bundle C. Do you see that?
I do, Mr. Chairman.
The charge, insofar as remaining in the chamber is concerned, is in the Honorable Malema's notice at charge 4. Will you please just read charge 4 to yourself and confirm that that is indeed the case?
I've read it, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Kaso. And then we get to Ms. Lowe at page 27, still bundle C, Ms. Lowe.
I am there, Mr. Chairman.
In relation to Ms. Lowe, the charge, insofar as it concerns remaining in the chamber after the House had been temporarily suspended so that you could leave, alternatively be removed from the chamber in order for the House to continue with its business for that day. Your refusal to leave resulted in the House being adjourned for the day. Insofar as that charge is concerned, that is charge 2 for Ms. Lowe, and it appears at page 28. Will you please confirm that?
I can confirm that, Mr. Chairman.
I'm going to ask you to, in the hope that this will speed things along, the notices for the group which we have referred to as Group B, and these honorable members are Mashabela, Matiase, Maxon, Munsami, and Mkitama. Those notices, we've now already dealt with Low, or the Honorable Low. Those notices are still the same bundle C, and at pages 30 of bundle C, up to and including page 44. Page 30 of bundle C, up to and including page 44. And what I'd like you to do is just to read charge 2 in relation to those honorable members.
Okay. You said from page 30, am I right? So I'll read charge 2.
Charge 2 in relation to the Honorable Mashabela, you will find at page 31.
Okay. The charge reads as follows. It is alleged that you are guilty of conduct constituting contempt of Parliament in terms of Section 13A of the Act, in that as a Member of Parliament on 21 August 2014, you contravened Section 7A of the Act by improperly interfering with or impeding the exercise or performance by the House of its authority or functions by remaining in the chamber after the sitting of the House had been temporarily suspended by the Speaker, so that you could leave, alternatively be removed from the chamber, in order for the House to continue with its business for that day. Your refusal to leave the chamber resulted in the House being adjourned for the day.
Thank you, Mr. Kaso. I'm going to ask you in relation to the balance of the members in this group, whose notices are to be found from page 31 onwards and ending with page 44. In relation to the Honorable Matiasi, that is charge 2 at page 34. If you can just confirm that.
I can confirm it, Mr. Chairman.
In relation to the Honorable Maxon, charge 2 is at page 37, still bundle C, page 37. If you can confirm that.
I can confirm that, Mr. Chairman.
In relation to the Honorable Munsami, charge 2 is at page 40 of bundle C. Can you confirm that?
I can confirm that, Mr. Chairman.
And finally, on this part, in relation to the Honorable Mkitama, charge 2 is at page 43. Still of bundle C, page 43.
I can confirm that, Mr. Chairman.
And will you then also please confirm that the charges in relation to the honourable members that we've just named is that charge which concerns remaining in the chamber after the sitting of the House had been temporarily suspended?
I can confirm that, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Kaso. Then, Mr. Chairman and the members of your committee, there is a further group who we might call Group C. This group is made up of 8 honourable members, and the names of these honourable members are the Honourable Joseph, the Honourable Kawula the Honorable Machobeni, the Honorable Morapela, the Honorable Ngweniso, I think it's Ngweniso, yes, the Honorable Ntobagwana, and the Honorable Sonti. These honorable members face only one charge of contempt, and their notices, I'm still at bundle C, their notices are to be found starting at page 45 of bundle C and through to page 68 of bundle C. Page 45 of bundle C through to page 68 of bundle C.
I am there, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Kasa, I'm going to ask you to read charge 1 in relation to Mr. Joseph. That charge is the same for all of the honorable members who I have just named as forming part of what might be called Group C, and there are 8 of them. If you can please read their charge 1 into the record.
Charge 1 reads as follows. It is alleged that you are guilty of conduct constituting contempt of Parliament in terms of Section 13A of the Powers, Privileges and Immunities of Parliament and Provincial Legislatures Act number 4 of 2004, the Act, in that as a Member of Parliament on 21 August 2014, you contravened Section 7A of the Act by improperly interfering with or impeding the exercise or performance by the National Assembly, the House, of its authority or functions by remaining in the chamber after the sitting of the House had been temporarily suspended by the Speaker, so that you could leave, alternatively be removed from the chamber, in order for the House to continue with its business for that day. Your refusal to leave the chamber resulted in the House being adjourned for the day.
Thank you, Mr. Kaso. I'd like you now, Mr. Kaso, still staying with bundle C. This is the, and at page 48. Will you please confirm that bundle C, page 48, is a notice of hearing in relation to the Honorable Kawula MP?
I can confirm, Mr. Chairman.
Reading to yourself charge 1, will you please confirm that that charge, as was the case with the charge that you have just read out in relation to the Honorable Joseph, deals also with remaining in the House after the sitting of the House had been temporarily suspended?
I can confirm, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Please turn to page 51, Mr. Kaso, still bundle C, page 51.
I am there, Mr. Chairman.
Will you confirm that this is the notice in relation to the Honorable Machobeni, dated 18 September 2014?
I can confirm, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Will you confirm by reading to yourself the text of charge 1 that that charge is the self-same charge as faced by the Honorable Joseph and relating to remaining in the chamber after the House had been temporarily suspended?
I can confirm, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Will you please turn to page 54, still bundle C, page 54.
I am there, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Will you please confirm that this is the notice of hearing in relation to the Honorable Mbata, dated 18 September 2014?
I can confirm that, Mr. Chairman.
Please read to yourself charge 1 as it appears on the bottom third of page 54 and then the top 3 lines of page 55.
I've read it, Mr. Chairman.
Will you please confirm that that charge insofar as it relates to remaining in the chamber after the sitting of the House had been temporarily suspended, is the self-same charge that you have read out in its full text in relation to the Honourable Joseph?
I can confirm, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Please turn to page 60, still bundle C, page 60.
I am there, Mr. Chairman.
Will you please confirm that this is a notice of hearing dated 18 September and in relation to the Honourable Nweniso?
I can confirm, Mr. Chairman.
Please read to yourself charge 1 as it appears at the bottom third of page 60 and the top 3 lines of page 61.
I'll read it, Mr. Chairman.
Will you please confirm that charge 1 as faced by the Honourable Nweniso is the self-same charge faced by the Honourable Joseph that you have read in its full length and as relating to remaining in the chamber after the sitting of the House had been temporarily suspended?
I can confirm that, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And then will you please turn to page 63, still bundle C, page 63.
I am there, Mr. Chairman.
Will you please confirm that this is a notice of hearing dated 18 September in relation to the Honourable Ntobongwana?
I can confirm that, Mr. Chair.
Will you please read for yourself charge 1 as it appears on the bottom third of page 63 and continues over the page onto the top 3 lines of page 64?
All right, Mr. Chair.
Will you please confirm that that charge numbered 1 in relation to the Honourable Ntobongwana is the self-same charge that you read out in its full text as it related to the Honourable Joseph and concerns remaining in the chamber after the sitting of the House had been temporarily suspended?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman and your committee, the witness has now dealt with the charge insofar as the charge of contempt, insofar as remaining in the House after the Speaker had temporarily suspended the House is concerned. That charge relates to all of the honourable members concerned and who have been required or have been charged to appear before your committee to answer allegations of contempt. At this point, I'm going to ask for Mr. Adonis to assist us yet again. Thank you, Mr. Adonis. If I can ask you please to play clip, my apologies, CD1, clip A, starting at 56 minutes, 50 seconds. I'll signal to you when I would like you to stop.
It looks like you may need some latest antivirus.
To take their leave.
We are raising a point of order.
I am not allowing
There's no member of parliament.
honorable member wants to leave the house.
No, all we are
Leave the house.
back the money. Why are we getting thrown out?
That money, money must be paid. You can't hide behind presidents.
Honorable members, I'm calling the security. I'm suspending the house for a few minutes for these honorable members to leave.
1 hour money.
Mr. Kaso, we've seen this footage before. The speaker is heard saying, "Leave the house." I'm calling the security to assist us. Who is the speaker referring to when she says, "Leave the house"?
Mr. Chairman, I can only speak to my understanding of the situation. That speaker would have been, firstly, let me put it this way.
Children with disability need transport to go to in their homes because public transport is not compatible. Children, they can nearly fall on the road when the bus stops. So they need the bus which will make them be good and and not being afraid. And we need prayers in South Africa. Churches who are going to pray for schools, because there are children who have evil spirits who can take the brain of children in schools, so they cannot pass and everything. And I just want to say, Minister, we have a DVD. We want you to watch it in your home to see what South Africa is facing. And we want all be equal. We are here because of a purpose. As South Africa, we shall stand. Thank you.
Thank you, Adefe and Ms. Sithole, for your lovely words and life experiences. Honorable members, we now proceed to ministerial responses. Are there any ministerial responses? Okay, I'm sorry for that. That concludes the remarks and messages of support. Honorable members, we now come to the statements by delegates of the 2014 Children's Parliament. Honorable members, we now proceed to ministerial responses. Are there any ministerial responses? Our first speaker on the speakers list is Ndombizodwa Sithole.
Honorable Minister of Social Development, Batabile Dlamini, honorable dignitaries, honorable Speaker of the House, honorable delegates, protocol is observed. My name is Ndombi Sithole, and I am honored to stand here in front of you delivering the definition and the importance of education in South Africa. First and foremost, I would like to introduce to you the word education. Education is the ability to listen to almost anything without losing temper and self-esteem. Education is a system that impacts knowledge, skills, and information. Learning is acquired by internalizing, understanding, and applying the knowledge gained. It is general sense of learning in which habits of group of people are transferred from one generation to the next. Teaching, training, and research. Education frequently takes place under the guidance of others, but might also be autodidact, might not need any guidance. Any experience that has a formative effect on the way one thinks, feels an act may be considered as educational. It is commonly divided into stages: preschool, primary, secondary, and tertiary. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. If equipped us with this weapon, we will be able to open every door life throws at us. The education as we as children receive will set the groundwork for future success. Education is a fundamental human right to achieving economic growth, increasing income, and sustaining healthy society. It's important in helping to improve lives, break the cycle of poverty, and ensure that all people have control over their destiny. So, Basically, education means having the ability, right, and responsibility to make the world a better place and to ensure a bright future for ourselves. Education for children in rural areas is like a key to equality. It's like a platform that equalizes everyone despite of their circumstances. Education for me as a learner in 2014 is the ability to write your own story to open more doors for yourself. Education is like a stepping stone that builds up your confidence and empowers you to be anything. I would like...
I now call upon Honor Gerd Stenger.
Honorable Minister of Social Development, Batabile Dlamini, Honorable Ministers, dignitaries, Honorable Speaker, all protocol is observed. My name is Geeta Standard. I will be raising the concerns with regard to the state of education as well as the recommendations we came up with. Firstly, participation by learners. The children and teachers don't engage enough. They focus more on their rights and tend to neglect their responsibility. And therefore, we recommended more competitions for schools against each other academically, sport-wise, and extracurricular activities to promote excellence and school spirit. Secondly, those who want to learn but don't have the access. We recommend, due to different circumstances such as the distances, we recommend that the government build more schools closer to villages and communities to ensure the safety as well. Thirdly, the pass rate. The government shows a lack of confidence in the children of South Africa. This demotes the standard of education and does in no way build up self-confidence students need. And therefore, we recommend that the pass rate should be raised back to 50%. The changing curriculum.